So, after my initial reaction with the boys in watching the film Godzilla vs. Kong, I picked up something right towards the ending of the film. Now, before I get into all of this, I just need to let you know that there will be spoilers for both this film and the previous film in the series, Godzilla King of the Monsters. So if you haven't seen these two films yet, then I suggest you turn away now, and I highly recommend you watch both these movies because, I mean, well, if you've seen my other videos, you will understand why they're so good in the MonsterVerse. But for those of you who seen these two films already or just don't give a shit about spoilers, you have been warned. So, like the title of this video is suggesting, yes, Kong does defeat Mechagodzilla in this film. Now, there are many reasons why this moment is so funny and ironic, but mainly I'm going to be focusing on the biggest ironic moment with this end. You see, sometimes within a story, there is something called poetic justice, which is a term in which the tables are turned on a particular character, mainly the villain, in a way that punishes them for an action that they had caused in the past. Now, this term here can be used to describe two of the biggest moments in the MonsterVerse for Kong. The first moment comes from this very film itself, where Godzilla does defeat the giant monkey as Kong absolutely destroys the robotic version of the same Titan who defeats him throughout the entirety of the film. Now, this could also be used to fill the two monsters' roles, as whenever a Mechagodzilla shows up in the Godzilla franchise as a whole, it always gets destroyed by Godzilla himself, with the exception of Kiryu, because, let's face it, that fucking mecha is just OP as shit. But ultimately, Kiryu is defeated by the people who created it, surprisingly, instead of Godzilla. Now, do I think this universe's Godzilla could have defeated this universe's Mecha Godzilla? Absolutely. However, due to the fight with Kong prior to their fight, had made Godzilla extremely exhausted, since not only did he get axed in the leg, but also in the fucking head. Not only that, but even before the fight with Kong, Godzilla blasts an atomic breath so powerful it blasts a hole to the hollow earth, all to tell Kong to shut the fuck up down there and to stop whatever the hell he was doing. So, due to all that, Godzilla was pretty much powerless against Mecha, as it was also controlled by a certain someone else, as well as having the programming to know every single move Godzilla has done since the very first film in 2014. So, in a sense, Kong was the one who finally stopped a Mechagodzilla instead of Godzilla himself. However, that's not my main point in this video. Not because, Godzilla didn't defeat Mechagodzilla, because that breaks the whole cycle. No. The other big moment in this ending, which makes true for Kong, is who is driving Mechagodzilla to begin with. King Ghidorah. Or, in this case, Kevin. I'm sorry, I gotta take a second. God damn it. You had one job, Kevin, you had one job. Anyways, you saw during King of the Monsters that Godzilla ripped off Kevin's head, and just before the oxygen destroyer bomb hit both of them. The head was then later recovered and then sold to the movie's main villain by the end credits scene. Then in Godzilla vs. Kong, it is revealed that Ghidorah's skull is helping to operate Mechagodzilla. But why is that important? you might add. Well, first of all, this is another reason why Godzilla has such a hard time fighting this version of his robotic self, as it's being controlled by the main Titan villain of the last film. A Titan so strong, in fact, that it took Burning Godzilla, which had the combined power of the nuke given to Dr. Serizawa and Mothra's healing dust to defeat King Ghidorah once and for all. Seeing as Ghidorah is controlling a robotic Godzilla with all of Godzilla's moves, he quickly takes no time in trying to kick Godzilla's ass. The other reason is for Kong himself. Now, you might be saying this famous quote from Cinema Sins right now.
The books do not matter.
Well, for the context of why this scene is so ironic, a book, in this case, does matter. In the book adaptation of Godzilla King of the Monsters, when King Ghidorah calls out to the other Titans after Godzilla is defeated, aka the kick-ass alpha call scene, Kong ignores the call of King Ghidorah, of course, but someone else on his island does respond to King Ghidorah's calls. The Skullcrawlers. Now, if you haven't taken a look at Kong Skull Island, which I'm not going to really spoil how that movie goes, but these damn lizards that have a skull on their face, like looking like fucking Cubone, they are, let's just say, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. They're like a parasitic lesser Titan. Think Mutos, but, you know, less threatening. Like, they could actually be killed. I mean, it's even demonstrated in Godzilla vs. Kong when a Skullcrawler gets defeated by a not fully powered up Mechagodzilla. But I digress. If these things were to get loose, then let's just say humanity would have had another problem. So, if Kong didn't deal with the Skullcrawlers, listening to Ghidorah's call, humanity could have faced another threat that they were not prepared for. Outside of all the other fucking Titans, but that's besides my point. Not only did Ghidorah call for the Skullcrawlers, but when he does reach alpha positioning on Earth, it also raises the sea level of the entire planet, which includes Kong's home, or Skull Island in this case. So, and this is the big reason why Kong is in a dome at the beginning of Godzilla vs. Kong, and why you see it all the time when you're looking outside the facility, that it never stops raining. You know who did that? That was Ghidorah. So, basically, not only did King Ghidorah destroy Godzilla's home by unleashing the other Titans from hibernation, but also destroyed Kong's home by destroying the entire ecosystem of the island without even traveling there. So, in a sense, Kong destroying Mechagodzilla is ironic, because this is really Kong destroying King Ghidorah once and for all, after all the crap that has happened to Kong. And this is really why it's also poetic justice for Kong defeating Mechagodzilla.